Hello friends, welcome back to the video series in Oracle PL/SQL programming. In this video, we would discuss on the primary key constraint association. In a database table, there is only one column or field or attribute which can be treated as a primary key. When any column is assigned with the primary key, this column must ensure that this column must have some value, that is not null and also unique. We can assign this constraint primary key to the column level or from the table level. Let us start the SQL plus command prompt to check. Let us first connect to the database, and for that the user name is the system and the password is password throughout the video series. And at first we are clearing the screen for better view. Then we create a new table and add the constraint through the column level. So for that, create, then table, then the name of the table is test4, then the left parenthesis, then the first column named as col1, the data type is number, and the constraint, that particular keyword, then the name of the constraint, suppose test4 underscore. Here we are providing the column 1 and then the pk for the primary key, then the keyword, that is primary key, comma, another column, suppose col2 with the data type number has been defined, and end of parenthesis and semicolon, press enter. The table has been created. If we want to check the structure of the table test4, we have DESC test4. Here the primary key is not mentioned in the structure, but we would check later how to check all the constants assigned with which columns. Now to check the assignment of the primary key to the table level. Yet now whatever we have done, now we have created the table and added the primary key constraint through the column level. Now we are adding the primary key through the table level. Here we again create a new table, as only one primary key can be assigned to only one column per table. For that, create table, then the name of the table, suppose test5 here, then the left parenthesis, then the col1 as the first column name with the data type number, and second column as the col2 with the same data type number, then the constraint, that particular keyword with the name of the constraint. So here that is test5 underscore, with which column? Now we are providing column 1 as the primary key, so col1 underscore the pk, that is for the primary key, then the keywords, that is primary key, and in parenthesis the name of the column, that is col1, then end of the parenthesis for the table and semicolon and press enter. Error at line 5, that means here we have missed a comma, that is then save, exit, and the slash, table created. Now we can check the structure of the table test5. Once again we can see the not null has been assigned with the call 1 as it is the primary key constraint here. Now we can pass multiple columns in the primary key, but then it would not be treated as the primary key but would be treated as the composite key. Now if we want to assign the primary key constraint for any existing table, let us create another table at first with no primary key assignment. For that, at first clear the screen and then once again create a table with the table name as test6. Then the first column as call 1 with the data type number. Then another column that is called 2 with the same data type, suppose number, and then the semicolon with the end parenthesis, and table has been created. Now to assign the primary key to column 1 or the call 1, we have to use that particular statement here. That means alter table, the table name that is test6, then add the constraint, that particular keyword, then the name of the constraint that is test6 underscore call 1 underscore pk, then the keywords primary key, and in parenthesis the name of the column that is called 1 and the semicolon. Table altered. If we want to check the structure of the table test6 now, sorry, that must be DESC test6, then we have the call 1 assigned with not null. Now we should work on the previously created table named as employee. Once again, at first clear the screen and check the structure of the employee table. Here the EMP ID, that particular column, would be added with the constraint as primary key. So here we are using alter table, the name of the table here that is employee, then add constraint, then the name of the constraint employee underscore the name of the column emp id, the pk for the primary key, and the keywords primary key with the name of the column that is emp id, semicolon, and table altered. So emp id has been assigned as the primary key. So this is how we can assign the primary key constraint during the creation of the table at the column level and at the table level. Or we can also add the primary key constraint after the creation of the table also. In the next video, we would check on the check constraint.